My name is Katelyn Donnelly, and I work with DFID as a consultant on the the Pakistan Education Sector Reform Program, both in the Punjab Schools Reform Roadmap and the KPK Reform Roadmap. Additionally, I also work as the Executive Director of the Pearson Affordable Learning Fund, which is a small venture fund that invests in chains of low-cost private schools and services to those chains in the developing world. When building data and accountability systems into education systems in the developing world, it's important to start with the demand side to be able to drive quality throughout. And so that means demand on two levels. The first is with frontline managers, so education district managers who are able to, who demand the data in order to manage their systems better so that they can drive improvements throughout. And then secondly, and maybe most importantly, at the very top of the system, whether it's the chief minister in Pakistan or the education secretary, so that they're able to effectively monitor their system on a regular basis. Once you have the adequate demand, that will put pressure on the data and accountability system to be able to deliver reliable, regular data. And what we did in Punjab and Pakistan is we came to the independent monitoring unit about 2 years ago. We saw that only 20% of the schools were being monitored on a monthly basis, and there was only reliable data for 2 months of the past 2 years. And most of the reason for that is the data wasn't being demanded. System leaders hadn't actually asked for it. And so once we started demanding the data, that figure shot up from 20% of the schools to 96% of the schools being monitored, and data being collected every single month and available 10 days or about 2 weeks after the close of the month. And so it was that demand for reliability. And then once that demand was there, we were able to institute certain checks in the system to ensure that the data was of high quality and it wasn't being manipulated. So we would go through the physical forms and check them for any errors, and we would also, go all the way down to the front lines to ensure that there was proper training and that the routes that the data monitors were taking were being changed every week or so they wouldn't develop potentially corrupt routines. That's a great question. When we think about what the role of the private sector is, it's important to first think about what's the question that our public sector officials are asking. And what the challenge that we've set for public system leaders is that they shouldn't ask, how do I run the public system better, but how do I ensure that every child has access to a high quality of education? And so when you ask that question, which is a broader question, you can see that the role of the private sector can be to provide a challenge and a benchmark for the public system's performance, and also provide choice for parents. This is particularly very important in the developing world. When you go to urban centers, whether it's Delhi in India, Lahore in Pakistan, Lagos, Nigeria, about 60% or 70% of the kids are in low-cost private schools. Parents have voted with their feet, and they've said the public system is failing to meet their needs. And so the private system can be an alternative choice for parents, and it also can be a push for government systems to continuously improve.